All right, it's if we're Mamuna Makwa Bason, Koso, Eba Ghana Politics Avenue, Bit Mafre, GH Politics Avenue. Hana Upe, all the trending political stories in Ghana on Sabi to me. I can any trending political stories in Ghana. So when any GH Politics Avenue and then you mean baby Ubinyan, baby Fufubia Ubinyan view. Nabusana a story at Badum, more ham papa. Na ayede ne de bedum na ndi di kan oba channel so adawro di kan be subscribe to channel no ani di no bo kwan subscribe we na afi notification bell na adoma na won che won odo nsa abo so se be ya video we ni video afro bia e bitimi da beto one tem amamo no uni pa bi di kan onsa bitimi aka ne tem no a notify so wonya video bia so wo hwe fa Ghana amamu ni Ghana democracy e practice na busa ne story ben ye di bremu eye enche enna OSP, Office of Special Prosecutor, Eddie Zembia Betuja, Minim Samokaya, NPA, National Petroleum Authority, any some institutions, be financial institutions, be case about Bontia, Mustapha Hamid, on a former NPA, National Petroleum Authority, on a former CU. On an unsem be special prosecutor at the charges be na bon. Na special prosecutor any big win Ben special prosecutor any. A year nipakuo na no special prosecutor de kwadu abo mu no emu baako abehu special prosecutor ka chense ono ye nkobenya nanka special prosecutor eja kwadu na ode bono no nanka wabeye adansini ama special prosecutor ewo ni case a oye ti afoforo na aka na special prosecutor de sanse me kwadu ndwemu na owie no ode wakoto court anim se asema papa yi de batu na nimu agya atum enti onya mbo papa yi kwadu biu na mom papa yi ba be na dance ni wo sansem semi obada beda court na we na man focus we dey master stroke na special prosecutor ya there. This is a big win for corruption and all corruption related activity because what manya obi a wo prosecuting so mani media dance yema na no kuri wo mbia no ombo a na win case na and this is a big win menko ni nko chenchire mu ya ba de obi a de ma ya Ghana police avenue mi nko chenchire mu number is ya ba de obi a esan be she na ye hu de ekoso mi nko chenchire.
So he agreed to testify as prosecution witness in the ongoing case, or this criminal case against the former CEO of the NPA, Mustapha, Hamid, and 9 others. The OSP, according to what we're gleaning, will therefore have to amend the current charges filed against the accused persons. Now, in court earlier today, Principal Prosecutor with the Office of Special Prosecutor, Adelaide Kubiri Wood, informed the court that following discussions with Albert Ankra, the 4th accused in this matter, and his lawyer, the prosecution has withdrawn the charges against him and will now proceed with him as a witness for the prosecution. Now, the principal prosecutor further requested time to file a fresh charge sheet, noting that this development would then change the prosecution's approach to the case. But here's exactly what the prosecution said in court, and this was transcribed based on our witnesses and then our senior court correspondents who sat through this case to observe it earlier today. The office of the OSP has since taken a decision not to proceed with the prosecution of the 4th accused person, Albert Ankra, but rather put him before the court as a witness for the prosecution. This says today in court, the prosecution announced that the 4th accused has approached the office expressing willingness. This is what the OSP is saying, that today in court, the prosecution announced that the 4th accused has approached the office, that's his office, expressing willingness to serve as a prosecution witness. So this is what the OSP said, that Mr. Ankra approached it. The office currently is considering his request. This is what the OSP said. But in court today, the OSP says, and this is it, that they have since taken a decision not to proceed with the prosecution of the 4th accused person, Albert Ankra, but rather put him before the court as a witness for the prosecution. So there's some two contrasting positions in here. So from what we understand, this is what went on the records of the court earlier today. I'll bring you in here, but taking into consideration what happened in court and what the OSP is actually saying as well, that there's actually consideration now for this 4th accused to be a prosecution witness. Counsel.
Yeah, so for me, I see it as a huge step forward in unraveling the case. Huge step forward because I'm assuming that yes, the prosecutor, this Mrs. Wood, or is it Miss Wood,
Yeah.
Adelaide Kubiri Wood, knows what she's talking about. Because you see, when an accused person has agreed to come and testify for you, that means that he'll be speaking as an insider, somebody who was part of the transactions that are alleged to be illegal, that are alleged to be criminal. It means that his evidence will be weighty. It brings great insight into the case. So, from where I sit, I assume that what they've heard from Mr. Ankara is weighty enough for them, that's the OSP, to withdraw this Ankara as an accused person and to use him as a witness. So it's going to help extremely. It's going to help make the case easier because this is somebody who is alleged to be with those people. And now he says, I'm coming from deep down the river to come and tell you what happened. Like the way we say that when a frog comes from deep down the river to tell you that crocodile is dead, you can't argue with that. The frog. That's the analogy I can see. So he was with them.
I see. But kindly hold on a bit for me. Andy Apiakubi is also your learned colleague, private legal practitioner. He's lawyer to Chairman Wontumi in another case, also involving the OSP. But Andy Apiakubi, thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight, also from a member of parliament for the Asante North constituency. Appreciate your time. Now, first off, what issues do you have with this approach by both the Attorney General and the OSP to have accused persons who come in willingly testify as prosecution witnesses?
Yes, indeed. I'm very disappointed at the approach of the Attorney General's department in prosecuting criminal matters. What has been the norm lately has been that Attorney General will entice accused persons to become prosecution witnesses against other accused persons. And I don't think that that is fair because the people who have been accused of having committed some crimes are now being turned into support Attorney General's case. It is a possibility that they will be motivated by their release and therefore tender evidence beyond would qualify as credible evidence. So it is not, for me, it's not the best way to prosecute alleged criminals. So when you attract somebody, his motivation is that he's left off the hook, and therefore he has to also give the Attorney General some leverage by testifying in support of the Attorney General's case. I'm not sure that this is the best way to go ahead with prosecution. It is turning out to be that Attorney General seeks to obtain conviction by all means. That is not the mandate of the Attorney General. Indeed, if he finds evidence that supports the accused person's case, the Attorney General is duty-bound to provide that evidence to support even the prosecution's, the defense case. But the way it is, people who would have given witness statements against the Attorney General, who actually would otherwise have been prosecuted as accused persons, it turns the whole thing upside down. So it is not the best of situations. Is it the case that Attorney General cannot find evidence on his own and seeks to court some accused persons to? And in my particular case, there is this a person who is being used as a prosecution witness. He comes into the box and he says that I have done A, B, C, D, which is contrary to the law.
I see. But then again, in this particular case of the special prosecutor, which is under consideration now, he says this Albert Ankara, with his lawyers, approached his office to now request, and in fact, it was upon his own prayer and pleading that he be made a prosecution witness. It was not by the convincing or the coaxing or coaching of the OSP. And in fact, the Attorney General has maintained in previous instances where similar cases have happened, where accused persons have now agreed to testify as prosecution witnesses, that there's no coaxing or coaching or convincing. They come on their own prayer and plea. So where are you getting this from?
This one bit. How come that those persons didn't come as accused prosecution witnesses, but having been charged as accused persons, then they come and submit themselves to you and say that we want to be prosecution witnesses? This you can tell the Marines. You cannot tell us that this has been the case, and it is becoming too many that people who are otherwise accused and brought to court under some charges turn out to be prosecution witnesses against other accused persons. It is so unfair because there's also a possibility that they even go beyond what they know to also become witnesses. It is a stereotype. They are coached to come and give evidence against others. And in most cases, you see that the evidence they give, they are not consistent. A lot of lapses in the evidence, but it's also very bad. So we don't have to find people who are accused persons and say because of we are political lineage, we need to find a way to convict you by all means. And that is why some of the people are being turned out to be prosecution witnesses. In fact, we live to see. But let us all not forget that the criminal justice system is there for all of us. And now, today, we have somebody who is facing criminal charges and who is being prosecuted and getting people to prosecute him as witnesses, also people who would have otherwise have committed offenses.
I see, but Martin, people, let me end with you on this. The concern, and the Honorable Andy Apiakubi raises as well, is that to the extent that these accused persons, before they are made prosecution witnesses, the charges against them are dropped. So that is more like an enticement for accused persons to now want to testify as prosecution witnesses. Do you share in that concern?
Well, you see, by its nature, plea bargaining involves a quid pro quo. Okay? Yes, quid pro quo. So sometimes you come and volunteer some information that's so weighty that they will decide not to continue with your prosecution. To say that those persons will be motivated to lie, yes, we cannot rule it out, but the saving grace is that whatever the witness comes to say, he'll be subject or she will be subject to cross-examination. So the other lawyers will get to ask. So in the case of Apiakubi, when that thing happened, that one of Chairman Wuntimi's personal assistants or workers who was standing trial with him volunteered to give information. Yes, I'm sure Apiakubi had the opportunity to cross-examine him. That's the system we have. It's been there for decades. You say those are some of the shortcomings of the system, but that's the way it's been. It's been centuries that if you bring somebody who was a co-accused to come and testify, he'll be subject to cross-examination. So, well, you know, I always say, well, as people complain, we'll think twice and see if there's a way we can, you know, improve the system. But that's what it takes. The person says, listen, I'm accused of an offense. Now, I want to come and volunteer to help the state so that my charges will be dropped. That is it. The law allows for it. The law allows for it. You see, the law allows for it. So if you think, and you see, it's not just Ghana. You see it in the UK. You see it in the US. I mean, all the, well, I won't say all, most of the advanced countries that I've seen, it's allowed. If the person participated, he's sorry, he's remorseful, so now he wants to make it easier. for the state to prosecute, and he says he wants to come in and spill the beans. Are we now being told that no, we shouldn't take it? That's how come that I say the remedy to rate
Right,
is that
thank you.
there's what we call cross-examination. Yes.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. Martin Prego is private legal practitioner. Dia Kobe is private legal practitioner as well. Gentlemen, appreciate your time here on Ghana Tonight. We're going to go for this quick break. When we're back, we have a conversation.
I, Baba Jamal Mohammed Ahmed, do in the name of the Almighty God swear. Do in the name of the Almighty God swear. That I will bear true faith and allegiance. That I will bear true faith and allegiance. To the Republic of Ghana as by law established. To the Republic of Ghana as by law established. That I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of Ghana. That I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of Ghana. And that I will preserve. And that I will preserve. Protect. And defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. And defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. So help me God. So help me God. You now have to swear the oath of a member as by law established. That I will uphold. That I will uphold. Preserve. Protect. And defend the Constitution of the Republic of.
And Dr. Jonathan Asante is a political analyst, a senior lecturer at the University of Cape Coast. Good evening. Thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. Just your quick thoughts on the comeback of Baba Jamal, this time as a so East Member of Parliament. Now, taking into consideration what preceded his being sworn in today, how do you expect that coming days to be like, and then also his function in this 9th Parliament?
Well, I believe that, let me say good evening, first of all, to your viewers and to your good self. The point ought to be made that Mr. Jamal is a fighter, someone who had to fight both within and without. And I think he has a lot more work to do in Parliament, of course, by ensuring that he patches up with the majority or the rest of majority, and looking at the sheer numbers in terms of the what's called majority side, he may not necessarily play any unique role other than being an MP. But of course, having to be someone who is having a solid background and a firm support of the chairman of the party, probably he may, do certain things that will have to inure to the benefit of the party going forward. Within the constituency itself, if you look at the slim margin of victory that he had in terms of the delegate system for the election, then that should let him understand that he doesn't have control or entire control over the constituency. And so he may have to work a little harder to patch up the differences that is hard with himself and then that of the deceased MP's side, because that was represented by the widow. And so it is obvious that you will have to work a little harder.
Right.
Other than that, in the next delegate system, that could be very difficult for him.
For him. Right. I thank you. Appreciate you for this. Thank you for your quick thoughts on this latest for Baba Jamal.
All right,
Dr. Jonathan Asante is a senior lecturer at the University of Cape Coast. Thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. Before we go, we've received news.
NPA Mustapha, Hamid, doctor. No one sends no any other companies, one sends him down court na. Big winner, special prosecutor, and what double trouble on Tina, your chief for near her for Mobeche. And then they go back and issue a down many new book on best subscribe to channel. Subscribe, we have notification bell now. Don't want one channel, not was about 7. video any subsequent video that do me and subsequent one is about do mo se be ya abrena bibia the video beto unsa betuma ka ntem no edi kan ayi nipa edi kan a wo be unsa be ka video no afis video be do mo ni je ho na yo fa wadaroma ni di no go kwa so be so be like it na wa share ama afoforo so nya bi o like it na wa share ama odofo so enya bi ahwe no so mu de ko so Ghana amanyo se mafi comment section you comment I comment we comment yin na ento ato adwen wo ho na in our own small we nyem bo ma Ghana amanyo sem ene kabima mi nka bi amamu no enkoso ne tumpo nti kire wa adwen wo ho nam so me nkire ma adwen yin na nkire ya adwen na in our own small we nyem bo e ma Ghana amanyo sem enne kabima mi nka bi enkoso da mu na ma se ma jebre nam da tie se mi ka Ghana politics 7 opo the trending podcast stories in Ghana ya na nsa beka ya da ma se ma jebre nam da tie nam de ahweye da se ne sa bi hia ye kramu na